I want to ask you, we're talking about, New Poland right now, but I feel like the image of Poland in America is a little bit distorted or maybe not exposed so much. And I want to ask you, what do you think is the image among the American media? You're a journalist. If you could give me some thoughts on that.
I think it's getting better. I think for a long time, the American media maybe didn't understand Poland and didn't have as much information as it should have, I think, about Poland. And I think, sometimes in America there's so much information happening domestically, and I don't think they understood as much about the growth of Poland and the incredible good stories coming out of Poland. I do feel it's changing. I feel in the last few years, and I can even see it with my story. When I tell people the story about my father, who fought in the uprising, and I talk about the incredible success that the Polish uprisers had in terms of spirit, in terms of message, in terms of heart, and of course the enormous success of solidarity against all odds. The Polish people have time and time again succeeded and done extremely well with very little resources. And I think that story is now getting out all over the world and slowly getting out. Sometimes it takes a while to trickle to all corners. But I do feel that that message is getting out. And I know even in the case of my story, my book became a bestseller in America. And I think that that speaks incredibly well about the American public, that they want to hear the stories of Poland. I mean, how wonderful that a book about Polish history and a Polish upriser is a bestseller in America and hitting the bestseller list. To me, that says that the American public, when they hear the stories, that they have tremendous respect, tremendous interest, and I hope that my book's success helps further authors and means that there will be many more stories like this in the future. But I think it's a very good sign. I think that clearly the American public loves the stories and appreciates the fight for democracy that Poland has done historically. And they can appreciate it. After 9/11, they know the sacrifice of being invaded. They know what it's like to suddenly have an enemy in their backyard, in their front yard. And they experienced it, Poland experienced it, and I think they value our allies, like Poland, who have troops in Afghanistan, troops in Iraq, side by side with American troops. I think that shows a very strong message of two countries that appreciate freedom and the price of democracy.
Great, thank you for those words, and I really do think Poland will. The image is changing, and the American media is starting to realize it. But I want to ask you, what do you think the Polish government could do to help change the image of Poland and help to create the new image, just to show people in America what Poland is really all about in the 21st century, really?
That's a great question, because I do think the Polish government, and I hope that they start to do more in terms of investing in Polonia, in America. And when I say investing, I mean in two different ways. One, economically. I do hope that the Polish government spends more money and invests in people, rising stars in America, maybe politicians, helping those aspiring politicians to rise up and to get more publicity and more attention. And then we will see maybe some more, even greater Polish lobbying efforts. Because in America, there are 10 million Polish Americans. In New York City, where I live, there's about 1 million in that area. It's a huge amount. It's huge power in numbers. And I think that if the Polish government would even more so invest in Polish American groups, also Polish American lobbying groups, Polish American politicians, help them rise up so they can have a very vocal, very visible face in America and around the world. I think that would be a very, very good thing. So financially, and then I also hope just power again in the numbers. And I think it's important, any efforts that they can do to help those groups organize better, to help those groups have a tremendous influence, because there is such an incredible relationship with Poland and America. And I think that they would be extremely effective if we can organize better, if we can get better finances for some of these groups, I think they can have a tremendous impact on legislation and on voting and just in society there in America. But look at the Polish culture. I mean, it is so rich. Some of the greatest, people in the world have come out of Poland. I mean, Chopin, Marie Curie, all these amazing figures. Jean Paul, my goodness, this is a place of such rich contributions. And there's also, again, that commonality with America and Poland. And so I think if there's greater investment, time-wise and finance-wise, we can have an even greater impact because there's such a cohesion, such a great symbiotic, close relationship. And I think if there's more power put behind it, we'll see tremendous effects and tremendous benefits, I think, in America, and recognition of Poles in America and throughout the world, because we deserve it.